I just think there's no egos involved. They're in this thing together. Both support each other. Nick supported Carson during the season last year. Then Carson turned around and supported Nick at the end of the year. Their relationship is carried over into into this spring and summer, and it's really good. I mean, I see them working in the classroom. I see them working on the field. They keep talking. They want to get better individually. They want to get our team better. And so it's been a really good dynamic between those two.
What do you think of the idea that's been floated out there that Nick has earned the right to run onto the field with the first team offense, the opener on September 6th, that he should be the starting quarterback that day?
Well, right now, today, that's the case because Carson is not ready. I can't speak for September. When we open up against the Falcons, I don't know where we're going to be at that time. I think on the outside world, people looking at the Philadelphia Eagles, they would probably say, yeah, Nick deserves an opportunity. But, this is the offseason still. We're working a lot of people. Obviously encouraged with Carson's progress on the field right now. He's obviously very limited, as you know, just working through some 7-on-7. So right now, standing here today, if we're playing a game, I'd probably say Nick Foles is going out on the field. And so that's where we're at today. Now, come September, we don't know yet.
How hungry do you think Carson is to get his team back to be the starter?
Oh, I think inside he's very hungry. I would be, as the leader of the team, sort of the face of the franchise. He was drafted, to be our guy long term. Very hungry but listen, I still believe this is Carson's team. I don't think differently about that, and so but yeah, he's inside. He's chomping. He's ready to get back out there.
Nick understands that?
For sure.
Doug, is everyone in attendance?
Yes. Yeah, everybody's here.
How would you describe the quarterback room right now and the interplay between Carson and Nick? Like, if you could take us inside, what's it like?
Oh, it's great. The dialogue is unbelievable. Starts with Press Taylor. He's doing a great job leading that group. A lot of good conversation going on in there. It just goes back to what I said. I mean, they're challenging each other, through conversation, and making each other better. And that's the thing that you got to have at each group, particularly the quarterback position. And we're fortunate to have two very good MVP caliber quarterbacks in that room. And then you throw in Nate. Nate's having a tremendous offseason right now. He's tremendous spring, and he's doing a nice job as well.
In Sproles' case, it's a different backfield than it's been the past 2 years. What do you envision his role being this season, both on offense and special teams?
Well, primarily, first of all, we got to make sure he's 100% as well. He's in that same boat, same category. And Darren, obviously, special teams is huge. Punt returns are huge. The chance to not only score, but to flip the field and put us in some favorable field position situations. So that's a big role for him. And again, offensively, much like he did the first year, when he's ready to go and he's back out there, he'll be a mix in the rotation of guys like we've done over the last couple of seasons. He's a tremendous third down back. He's smart. He understands protection, which is a vital part of third down. And he does a nice job out in space, route running away from the ball. So we'll see where he's at and try to keep him in that same situation.
How far along is he right now? How far along is he right now?
How far along?
Yeah, in his rehab.
When was surgery? So however far along that is. He's just like everybody else right now. I mean, he's doing. I'm very pleased where he's at. Very encouraged where he's at. Again, he's a guy that, as you know Darren like I do, and if you know Darren like I do, he's ready to get back out there and go full speed. But at the same time, I want to make sure these guys are 100% before they're on the field.
What do you expect to see out of Michael Bennett this week?
It'll be tough. I think with 3 days of work, obviously he'll be in there with the first unit and just understanding the defense and getting that down. But he's a veteran guy, not worried too much about where he's at right now. But just it's exciting to be able to have everybody out there and see all the pieces, for these next couple of days, and then get them back here for camp in July.
We've heard a lot about his versatility. He's mentioned he's going to be with the first unit. But just outside, or will you guys move him inside?
Well, he can play inside as well. He can play a tackle. He can play defensive end, move him around. Be exciting. We're not going to, right now. We're everybody's playing right now. We don't have necessarily a depth chart, or all the guys are rotating in and out. So that's one of the things we sort of, have tried to do this spring. Is keep everybody in the mix. I'm sure he'll be inside and outside this week a little bit, just getting a feel for it, but just trying to understand the defense and the terminology and how Chris is teaching that position will be something maybe a little bit new, for him this week.
Doug, back to Darren for a second. When he's healthy and the changes on kickoffs, have you guys discussed potentially using him on kickoff returns now that it's going to be more like a punt play?
No, we haven't gotten that far yet, quite honestly. We're still experimenting with this new kickoff rule and the kickoff return rule, with where everybody's at. A lot of moving parts there, but that'll be something as we go and have our meetings as a staff later this week and then on into camp. It'll begin to kind of unfold and see what we can do. It's going to change. Obviously, it's going to change the dynamic of that play in our game. So we'll take that into consideration.
You mentioned a unique time where you're flipping forward towards 2018, but there's still elements of the celebration still going on. The guys at the Kenny Chesney concert the other night, the ring ceremony coming up. Do you have a date in mind for where you kind of want to turn the valve off and leave the celebration behind and push forward?
12:01 a.m. June 15th.
Is that sarcastic or are you serious?
No, honestly, after the ring ceremony, to me, that's we've put that to bed, we've put that to rest, and we move on to 2018. Listen, we always are going to remember. And it's going to be every time we're in the city. I was at two events yesterday, and the city's on fire. It's great. I love it. Fans are excited, and they should be. But for us, we got to focus on 2018, get ready for training camp, and when we come back July 25th, 2 weeks, we're playing a football game. So that's our focus.
Trey Sullivan and Devontae Bosby last year did a lot of scout defense, so you got to see them up close. What did you see from them, and what are you expecting from them as far as being able to actually take part in their actual defense?
This offseason's been, I've talked a lot about the young players and getting them a lot of work, and these are two guys that have gotten a lot of work. Both of them have shown great strides, great improvement. Bosby's made some plays this offseason, this spring on the ball. He's done a nice job. Trey, had a really good camp last year for us. Got hurt obviously, but came back and he's one of the guys that's kind of in the mix right now. He's smart. He's learning the defense, learning from Malcolm and Rodney and some of the vets back there. But two young players that I'm encouraged by right now. It's different when we put the pads on, so we'll see just how it is, in a couple of months. But encouraged by where they're at right now.
Press Taylor had mentioned that he put together different reports last year. Can you kind of explain specifically what those were and what impressed you about the work he did?
Reports, in-season reports. Yeah. I'm not going to get into a ton of specifics on what we do with that, but his reports are thorough, they're detailed, they're well thought out. He has a plan. It's part of my philosophy as coaches. If you're going to put something together, let it be well thought out, and put some thought into it and have good reasons for putting it together. Some things I've asked him to do, and he's done a great job. He's smart. He studies. He understands the position, and last year did a nice job. And this will be a new role for him. Obviously, he's done a great job. This spring, he's embraced it, and looking forward to the season.
Doug, what are your objectives that you really want to achieve these 3 days?
Well, number one, keep everybody healthy. Don't have any further injury. than where we're at. You know, it's a chance to get the whole team together for the first time, and really, it sort of springboards us right into training camp. So get some good work in these next couple of days, some situational things that I've put together in practice, and then really on Thursday just wrap it up and you know, keep the guys focused and motivated for July 25th when they get back. But I think the goal this week is to make sure that we don't have any further injury.
Getting back to
How
Tim's
is
question.
how is Wendell's small report this spring?
Good.
And kind of, you know, what do you envision his role going forward? I mean, is this kind of a big?
Yeah, I mean it's a big year for him. You know, I think it'd be an exciting year for him. He's going to be in the mix, and I really like Wendell, what he's done. You know, the first couple of years. You know, he's got to make sure he keeps himself healthy, obviously, and on the football field. But he's done some really nice things this spring. He's third year now in our system. He understands, you know, the coaching, the techniques, protections, all of that. He's done a really nice job there, and it'll be a nice little you know, competition that we want. You know, again in July and August.
We saw during the season that a lot of players were talking about the effect that Brian Dawkins had in the locker room and on the field in practice. Will that resonate, you think, this year, the loss of him?
I mean, you know, anytime you have a Hall of Famer around your team who played here and it brings a tremendous leadership ability. There's an impact there, but I think that, you know, we've also got some guys on this team, this roster that also have that same type of impact and can lead. You know, but you know what Brian has done, obviously for the Eagles, is you can't take that away, not only from him but from us, and it was great to have him here. You know, but you know, I lean on the guys that are on the roster too. You know, some of the veteran players to kind of take up that slack and to fill that role just a little bit, and lead this team.
I know you said you want to get past the celebration, but is there almost a fine line, because we see all the signage around the building, guys have Super Bowl shirts, you kind of want to remember it, but is there a fine line between remembering it and not resting on it?
I don't know. I mean, I still remember the one I won in Green Bay. I still have shirts and hats and stuff at the house. I remember my teammates. You know, I think as each day passes, it gets a little more into the past. It's going to be part of our fabric, part of our history here in Philadelphia, part of the Eagles organization, obviously. And I want guys to remember. I think it's the journey that we took to see a Super Bowl 52 logo on the wall. You know, Jason means something different to Jason Peters than it does, you know, Big V, right? So I want those guys to remember it. I want those guys to embrace it. It's a great opportunity for us this season, great motivating factor for us to sort of rip off the dog masks and no longer be the underdog, but now be the hunted, have the target on our back. And so, you know, a fine line maybe, but at the same time, we have to embrace it and use it as sort of motivation to get back to that game and to do it for the guys that didn't have an opportunity to play in that game last year.
To bring that up, the guys didn't get a chance to play.